Flooding is the most common and costly natural disaster in the U.S., yet most homeowners have no idea what their flood policy actually covers. But here's the catch: most flood coverage pays for very little of what actually gets damaged, unless you add one critical protection. The number one loss in nearly every flood claim is your contents, and without content coverage, you could lose thousands of dollars with no reimbursement. Hi, I am so glad that you're watching my video today, and I wanted to give you two free gifts just for you. The first one is an insurance policy reviewer, and it's called the K.I.S.S app. Keep insurance super simple. And what you do is you upload your insurance policy, and now I can explain to you in plain English exactly what's in your policy. You upload it, my AI will go ahead and tell you what is good, what is bad, and we color code it to make it super simple for you to understand. It takes a 70-page insurance policy and breaks it down to 4 or 5 pages of color-coded good, bad, and what you need to improve on your insurance coverages so that you're covered correctly. The second app I'm giving you is My Property Vault. This is a must-have so that you document your home exactly the way you need it for an insurance claim. I've been through a lot of hurricanes. There's tornadoes that happen. There's fires and there's burglary, even floods where you lose everything and you don't document that. And when you go to get paid without the documentation, you're going to get pennies on the dollar. And I don't want that to happen to you. So what I want you to do today is to download these free apps and use them for yourself, because I'm giving them to you for free for watching this video. So you can go to USA Damage Claims to get the K.I.S.S app to review your policy, and then mypropertyvault.com to get your home inventory app that will help you document your home the way you need it. Absolutely free for watching today. So continue watching this video, and I appreciate you doing so. Thank you. Welcome back to Insurance Secrets. I'm Keith Kravitz, an insurance adjuster and also the author of Hurricane Proof on Amazon now. You know, the insurance company, it's not always on your side. But today we're going to look behind the curtain on flood coverage. What is covered, what is not covered. So let's find out what's going on. What is flood insurance? The first thing you need to know is it's not an insurance policy at all. It's an insurance program. So when you buy flood coverage, you're not purchasing a standard insurance policy. What you're actually getting is coverage through the National Flood Insurance Program, also known as NFIP. It's a government-run program that has its own strict rules and limits. This is a critical distinction between your insurance policy and what NFIP does. They do not follow the same rules. NFIP is not an all-inclusive policy like your insurance policy is, which means it is extremely limited to what they will cover and what they will not cover. So let's talk about exactly what that means. The NFIP is a very specific program, primarily focused on covering direct physical loss to the structure and contents of your home. It doesn't cover improvements or upgrades or external elements like pools and decks. This is why so many homeowners are surprised and actually frustrated when they discover that many things are not covered under flood at all. It's also why dealing with hurricanes can be so complex. If your wind policy will blame the damage on the flood, and your flood policy will blame it on the wind, leaving you stuck in the middle. So what is covered and what is not on an NFIP breakdown? To be covered, you need to buy both building and content coverage. Many people skip the contents portion, which is a major mistake. On virtually the majority of all damage from flood is usually the contents in your home. So let's talk about what is covered. First, it's building and coverage. This coverage is for the physical structure of your home. It includes the insured building and its foundation, permanently installed systems like electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, including central AC and furnaces and water heaters, built-in appliances such as dishwashers, refrigerators, and stoves, permanently installed elements like carpeting over unfinished floors, paneling, wallboard, built-in bookcases and cabinets, a detached garage, but coverage is limited to a maximum of 10% of your total building limit, fuel tanks, solar equipment, and well water systems attached to the building. These are the only things that are covered under the structural component of it. In fact, A lot of people think their washer and dryers are covered, and they're only covered if you have content insurance. So let's talk about content insurance next. Content coverage. This is an optional coverage, but I recommend everybody should have it. In fact, I don't know why you would have flood insurance without it, because in most flood insurance claims that I've been a part of, there's usually more content damage than there is structural damage to the home. And you usually get $100,000 in content coverage and you get $250,000 in structural coverage, but you rarely hit the $250,000 and you almost always can hit the $100,000 in the content coverage. What's included in content coverage? This covers items inside your home, such as clothing, furniture, and electronics, curtains, portable and window AC units, portable dishwashers, washers and dryers, like we talked about before, carpeting, valuable items such as art, furs, jewelry, and up to a cap of $2,500. What is not covered by NFIP? Vehicles, including cars and lawn equipment, even though a lot of that will get damaged and lost in a flood. Exterior improvements like pools, pool pumps, decks, patios, landscaping, fences, septic systems. Financial losses such as temporary housing or additional living expenses. Business interruption or loss of income. Contents kept in basement or below ground areas. Upgrades beyond pre-flood condition. If you have a tear-out damage, walls and paint, the policy will only cover painting in the damaged areas and not matching the entire room. And generally only one coat when you may need two. Upgraded finishes like premium flooring, countertops, or even new cabinets, unless they were directly damaged, may not be included. So for example, if you have upper cabinets and you have lower cabinets, in a flood, they will only replace the lower cabinets that get hit. And it's almost impossible to match lower cabinets without getting upper cabinets, but they won't pay for the upper cabinets. This happens a lot, and it makes a lot of homeowners really upset because they realize they have to get all new cabinets and they're only getting paid for half of them. So what are common pitfalls and practical advice? The NFIP has strict rules about what it considers flood damage. One of the most important things to understand is the debris line. What is this? This is the highest point where floodwater touches your home, both inside and out. You need to measure this line and find the highest point, because the insurance company will only cover where that debris line goes, and it only goes to that height. Now, if damage below this line is typically covered under the flood damage, well, damage that comes above that line, if it was during a hurricane, is likely going to fall under the wind policy, which falls under a completely different policy. This is often where the conflict begins with adjusters. Again, they may call something flood damage when it's considered wind damage. So it's really important to know the measurement of that debris line, both on the exterior of your home as well as the interior of your home. The water in a flood is considered black water, a toxic mixture of contaminants, microbes, and even raw sewage. It's not just canal water or river water that overflowed. It's contaminated, and it can be a health hazard. Anything it touches is considered trash and must be thrown out. That is why contents coverage is so vital. When a flood happens, the number one thing you must do is document everything. Take photos and videos of the damaged items before you throw them out. Note serial numbers and purchase dates and original prices for the items, what it cost you to buy them, especially for appliances and electronics. Without this documentation, getting reimbursed is nearly impossible. You can even download templates and forms from FEMA website to help you prepare in advance. Expect to go back and forth with your adjuster. NFIP offers are often very low, and you'll need to supplement your claim with your own receipts, photos, and professional estimates. This is where an expert can really help. Navigating the NFIP, especially when you have to layer it with a homeowner's or a wind policy, can feel impossible and almost overwhelming on your own. This is where a public adjuster can really help. So let's review what is covered and what is not covered under the NFIP program. First, let's talk about what's covered. Your structural and your foundation, your electrical, your plumbing, and your HVAC systems. built-in appliances, and contents if you have the contents portion of the policy option. So let's talk again about what's not covered. Vehicles, pools, and the exterior of the property. Any temporary lodging or business losses will not be covered. Contents in your basement or upgrades and trying to match any type of thing like the upper and lower cabinets will not be covered. Any improvements or exterior enhancements. These are all the things that are not covered under the NFIP program. That covers the essentials of flood insurance, what's covered and what's not, and what you must do to protect yourself when disaster strikes. Remember, NFIP is not your homeowner's policy. You need both structural and content coverage and thorough documentation, and always stay prepared. Thanks for tuning in to Insurance Secrets. I'm Keith Kravitz. Hit subscribe and join me next time as we dive deeper into layering flood with wind coverage and what that combo means when they both collide. Hi, I'm Keith Kravitz, your hurricane fighting champ. As an insurance adjuster, I've seen storms knock out homes, and the next thing you know, homeowners get floored by their insurance claims. Hurricanes hit hard, but stepping into the insurance ring without knowledge is like fighting blindfolded with one hand tied behind your back. It never ends well. That's why I wrote Hurricane Proof: Insider Secrets from an Insurance Adjuster, out now on Amazon. This book is your training manual to go toe-to-toe with your insurance company and win the cash you need to rebuild. Hurricane Proof gives you my battle-tested moves. Prep your home, dodge claim denials, and land every penny you deserve. It's your knockout punch against the storm. From decoding policies to outsmarting adjusters, Hurricane Proof transforms you into a hurricane-ready champion. Whether you're a homeowner, business owner, or anyone facing the storm, hurricane season is no joke. So don't get caught unprepared. Grab Hurricane Proof on Amazon now, and let's make you the champion of your next insurance claim.